Day 168. Hello YouTube. Welcome back to another one of my cooking ventures. Here's a better angle. I tried making Mille Feuille Mille Feuille, I don't know how it's pronounced, but Mille Feuille Nabe, which is like you're basically supposed to take up this Napa cabbage, slice it into slice it into quarters, and then chop, and then slice like the lengthwise parts into 3 parts. And then you layer like a slice of beef, slice of cabbage, slice of beef, slice of cabbage, so on and so forth. And then you cram it all into one pot with like stock. I used like a mixture. I used like diluted chicken broth. Maybe I should have added salt. But chicken broth, hondashi, some soy sauce, and some rice wine. You might be wondering why there's still cabbage left over. It turns out, I guess half a whole Napa cabbage is just enough to go with 1 pound of the frozen beef. I didn't account for the fact that they were all curled up. I thought it would be easy to, like uncurl each one. That ended up being more of a task than I thought, and it turns out that the stock I put all of the cabbage in first and then turned the heat on, and then it started like simmering before I even got like even a quarter of the beef slices. And so it just me like frantically, I ended up just grabbing a pair of chopsticks and just cramming it in, trying to cram in as much as possible between the leaves, trying to make it as even as possible. So might be kind of scuffed. Did the same mistake with the ginger, except I realized like I think 5 minutes in, so hopefully the ginger taste isn't overpowering. But yeah, I went to Kroger well, not just to get ginger, but there was another recipe I saw by Ian Fujimoto. I guess I'll put the link in the description again. Breakfast burrito meal prep, and I figured what better way than to use up the remaining 75 tortillas in the freezer. So yeah, I got some like fridge check. I still haven't thrown out that loaf of bread. By now it's probably a health hazard. But got the bell peppers, the bacon. Those are the breakfast sausages. I've been eating them with like scrambled eggs and the croissants from Costco. Yeah, and some green onions, because he said like chives are expensive, so but it turns out there's sour cream with chives. It's reduced because it expires on the 14th. Maybe that was I don't know. Maybe I won't use up all of it, but it's reduced anyway, so I guess it's not that big of a deal if I throw the rest out. Yeah, not really sure what I'm gonna do with like the other half of the Napa cabbage though. Like, I'm out of like, I don't think I'm gonna use bacon. I don't know, the flavor might be kind of off. Boiled bacon as well, God, what? But yeah, I'm out of like, hold on, that was off center, let me adjust that. I'm out of like frozen beef slices, and I don't know, it's like a whole pot of like Mille Feuille Nabe, so like, if I just went to Kroger, and I know for a fact that Kroger doesn't sell those things. If I would go on a 30-minute trip to 99 Ranch just for that, I don't know. So I'll have to find some way to like use that up, especially since I just chopped it, so like it's not gonna last very long. Maybe I should put that back in the fridge. I guess when I left off was 10 days ago. Yeah, on New Year's Day. The big boss did like call me up to his office, or he called one of the expats who then told me to go up to his office to see him. And I was like, uh-oh, is it because, like basically I'm the only local hire here and everyone else is on holiday? But no, he just if you first started off, it's like, oh, how much? It's like or it's like, oh, the place you're staying at, it's the place you said it was near the hotel or across the block from the hotel where some of the expats are staying. And I was like, yeah, it's this place. And we just chatted about how much it cost and, like my background, how I grew up in LA. And it turns out he lived pretty close. I think it was like in Orange County or not Inland Empire, but it was like, oh, he also lived in not New York, California for 1 or 2 years, just chatting about stuff like that and how it's like, how have you been adjusting here? How do you, any improvements? What did you think of like this morning's presentation? Stuff like that. So relatively chill, and I feel like definitely this New Year's been a lot easier. There's still been like a lot of stuff going on, but there's been times where, I just have not really much to do. And I'm like, huh, that's interesting. Well, like, I can always find ways to make busy. It's not like, oh, I have nothing to do. I'm just sitting there pretending to be busy, like there's always stuff I can do. But it's a lot more, it's not like running around like headless chickens, it's like, oh, temperature's too high, humidity's too low, so yeah. Oh, right, yesterday, there was a pop-up event for, Goddess of Victory Nikkei, because one of the games I play. I thought I would show up early, just in case, because I was guessing there would be a long line, but woke up at 8 naturally, before the alarm. And I was like, fuck. Ate breakfast, and it was only like an hour before I was supposed to leave that I like got really tired, and I was like, god damn it, why now? Didn't want to spend the whole day, like just dead, considering I'd spend like it was like a 40-minute drive there, and then I'd probably spend like an hour or two there. Took like a quick 30-minute nap before heading out, and I waited in line for 3 hours. So that fucking sucked. Parking was a nightmare. I think it would have been like a difference of like 5 to 10 people ahead. Like the line was so long when I already got there and looking for parking. Luckily, yeah, I have some pictures with them. Luckily, like I found a chill group of people. It just so happened that like they also have a friend named Eric, and so that sort of became like my way in, I guess, to sort of strike up a conversation with them, and it was nice. Otherwise, I'd have just been by myself, going like waiting for 3 hours, just miserable the entire time, going like fuck my loser weeb life. So yeah, once I got inside, just ordered a dessert. Got some freebies. They sold out of keychains, which kind of sucked, but let me actually go back to my room and see what I have. Right, okay. You might be wondering why the lighting's different, because during the day, it's like almost noon. I realized that you can turn that windows have blinds, and you can adjust them to let the amount of light in. My room has not seen the sun in a while. But got this Scarlet acrylic omamori, this Rappy sticker, and this cup sleeve, which is like, meat fresh. I think I went on this whole spiel without realizing that I forgot to mention. Yeah, it was a meat fresh, Taiwanese desserts and teas and shit. Is that almost done? Yeah, I got 4 more minutes. 4 more minutes of yapping, I guess. But yeah, and after I went back, I think I was like in a sort of depressive slump. But that was probably because I waited in line for I was just standing for 3 hours without food or water, And then like immediately, or like the moment I got in, just sipped down like a milk tea. And so that probably threw like my blood sugar and as a result my mood all out of sorts. I think, yeah, just but at the end of the day, I sort of practicing mindfulness here. I'm glad that like I found the group of like four people. Oops, four people. Like I don't even didn't even catch like half their names, but really glad that I was just able to like have a conversation with them or talk with them the whole time. Yeah, excuse me. Don't know why I'm burping. Oh right, I haven't eaten breakfast today. Whoops. But yeah, it just really made like the 3 hour wait a lot more tolerable. Yeah, I think that's about it. Oh wait, shit, no, that's not it. I haven't talked about like the work stuff. There's been developments at work. It seems like the friction between the local hires, you know, my team and China team is getting really close to reaching a boiling point. I know, like I think I've said that before. It's like, oh, things are happening. Things are happening. Oh yeah, the U.S. bombed Venezuela. Yeah, that's something that happened. But I can smell the rice wine. I really should get something in my stomach, or. But yeah, like my boss, he's been in charge of like doing the power calculations, and his calculations, which are right by the way, conflict with the China team's calculations because they didn't account for something. It's like power calculations aren't as simple as, you know, 1 watt plus 2 watt plus 3 watt equals, or 1 watt plus 2 watt plus 3. Okay, I guess in that example I was going to say 1 plus 1 plus 1 equals 3, but 1 plus 2 plus 3 equals 6, because there's like phases of power: single phase, two phase, three phase power. You know, like series versus parallel, like for the layman's example, because I myself was layman. Even though my job title is officially electrical engineer, I don't really know much of this shit. But yeah, he's been like butting heads. Like apparently China team wants things done in a certain format every time they present, but the customer wants things in a different format though. And every time they present to the customer gets on their asses for it. When it comes to my boss's turn, they're fine. Like they have nothing to say, maybe like a question or two, but he's been doing things their way. China team doesn't like that because like, oh, we want things our way. Everything has to be our way. You have to have our approval. You have to have hold on, let's do the. Oh yeah, there we go. Everything has to be done our way. You have to have our approval. It has to be reviewed by us, approved by us. You have to. If we tell you to lie to the customer, it's acceptable because we said to do it. And it's like, wow, that rant took. There we go, heat off. It's like, man. And yeah, he's been, or my boss has been uninvited to meetings due to someone, I guess, one of the project managers saying that he's been oppositional. It's like, brother, he's trying to do the right thing. You're gonna get, like, if you don't, your calculations are way higher than his. And if you apply for this amount of power and you don't end up using it, you're gonna get fined by the electric company for lying about like your power calculations, for not using the full amount. And then, you know how it's like, we're gonna get fined, and then that's I know for a fact that's gonna be a whole fiasco, but because you gotta get the funds from China team, but China team's gonna take business days to approve the funds. It's gonna drag out on and on. The fines are not gonna get paid. We're gonna accrue, and we might end up accruing more fines on top of that. I don't know. Maybe they'll just like, maybe they'll recognize the urgency and be like, "Oops, we fucked up." But yeah, that's the way things are going right now. I just don't know why. Like, and maybe like as an Asian American, you know, I guess from their perspective, from like both sides' perspectives, I'm supposed to serve as a bridge, but it's like there's no bridging these. Oops, hope you didn't hear that. But there's just no bridging these two perspectives. Like China team wants things done the Chinese way, and whenever that conflicts with, you know, American laws and regulations, which we have to follow since we're in Houston, Texas, in the United States of America, like we have to follow these. And it's like every time the locals bring it up, the local hires, it's like, why are you disagreeing with us? Why are you being difficult? And it's like, these are the fucking laws. What? So yeah, guess that's about it for now. I guess I'll make another entry if there's like another substantial update, but the Mille Feuille Nabe is done cooking. I gotta find a way to deal with the rest of that other half of the Napa cabbage, or the other 2/4 since I cut that in half. And yeah, gonna put some food in my stomach, maybe, and then meal prep some breakfast burritos, because apparently it only takes like 5 minutes to reheat, which is like huge, and it's not like, you know, a bowl of cereal, which is nice. Just, yeah, apparently heat for 1 minute, let rest, heat for another minute, let rest, and then heat for 30 to 60 seconds a third time, and then boom, it's heated throughout. Okay, well, I gotta use the restroom, so I guess I'll end this entry here. See you sometime in the near future. Hopefully not too near, because that would probably mean something substantial happened. Alright, that's about it. Right, I already said see. Sincerely, Eric. Goodbye.